Hello everyone. So today I'm here just to give you some tips for the exam. I know boards are approaching, home exams are coming. So what should you do in your maths exam, especially during the exam time? See, if your exam is of 3 hours. If it in board it is of 3 hours, in the home exam it can be of 2 hours or 3 hours or 2.5 hours depending on your school. So whatever the duration is, I'm taking it for board exam. So if it is of 3 hours, you get the time for reading the paper, that is 15 minutes. Just go through the paper, thoroughly read the paper. You are allowed to just read the paper during that time, but not to write anything. So what you can do is, while reading the paper, you will come to know which questions you can do very quickly and which questions are not known to you. So just leave those questions where you feel you are not comfortable with and you cannot go with the solution in one go. Leave those questions. Okay, first complete that paper, which you can do very easily. So that, and your mindset should be like that, yes, in that paper you have to complete in 2 hours. So in 2 hours you will complete the paper which is known to you. Okay, now what is left? We are left with 1 hour. Okay, so in this 1 hour, now your next motive should be 1 hour. We have to divide it into two parts. The first 30 minutes, do the questions which you have not done. It should not be like that ki it's 70% paper you have done in 2 hours and 30 paper. No, means those questions should be not more than 2 or 3 questions which you think you want to do it at last. So complete that paper in 30 minutes. Now what we are left with? We are left with 30 minutes. Now, dear students, listen to me carefully how you are going to use this 30 minutes. This 30 minutes is very crucial for you, very important for you. Because in 30 minutes, what we have to do is we have to leave this time for revision. Okay, and this is the important thing which I want to tell you in this video, how to do your revision. Okay, this is the important part of this video, how to do the revision. So revision means you have left now with 30 minutes. When you're starting with the first, take the question paper and your answer sheet. First, to see whether you have attempted all the questions or not. Please, it is a request, do not leave any question unattempted in the exam. So first thing is, you have to see what happens now. Sometimes I think my solution is wrong, but you maybe you have studied only one solution. If you will make second approach to that question, maybe some, not the whole, but some part of the question may be correct. Okay, so if you are attempting the question, your probability of getting the marks is 50%. 50% means in the 50% case, your question can be correct, because it depends on if you have used some other method or some of the steps are correct, because steps marking is always done. But if you are not attempting the question, not attempting means your probability of getting marks in that question is a big zero. Clear? If you are not doing any question, you will get zero. But if you are doing that question, if you have attempted that question, there are the chances that you might get some marks. Okay, I'm taking the probability 50-50. You may think it is zero. You may think that some of the parts may be correct, some of the steps may be correct, but I'm thinking it is zero. But still, the probability is either you will get zero. Max to max, what can happen? You will get the zero. But not attempting is already giving you zero, but attempting the question, if suppose the question is of 5 marks, attempting the question may give you at least 0.5 or 1 mark. Maybe some of these steps are correct. Okay, so we have got at least 1 mark now for attempting the question if it is correct. I'm not saying you are just writing in the question of probability, you are writing algebra, or in the question of algebra you are doing geometry. No, but if making an attempt to that question may give you some marks. This is the one thing. So do not leave the question unattempted. This is the first thing. The second thing is, while doing the revision, now I'm coming to this part, this important part of 30 minutes. You all have the clocks in your examination rooms, so just see the clock, and there is a bell also rung for 30 minutes, before 30 minutes. So now this is the time to do the revision. So how to do the revision is very important. Okay, while revising the question, the first thing I have told you, check there should not be any question unattempted. So first thing is, our mind is set that we have to attempt all the questions. Okay, the revision part, what you have to take in the mind is, suppose you have one I'll say your competitor in the school. Okay, so you want ki I just have to deduct his marks. Suppose you are now the teacher of that your competitor, and you are checking the notebook, or you are checking the question paper in such a way that you want ki now let me see how I can deduct the marks. From that point of view, how can you detect the marks? From that point of view, you will check the paper. You will check the paper means you will try to find out the mistake. Okay, in your paper only you will try to find out the mistake, thinking in the mind that this is not your paper, this is the paper of your competitor, and I want to score more marks than my competitor. Suppose your competitor is of out of 80, he used to get 78 and he used to get 76. So now this difference of 2 marks, how can you cover? So the main important point is revision. See students, I have been teaching for years in the school, and what I have seen is, whenever I am saying in the school to the students, please revise the paper, what they are doing is, they are just turning the paper, this, yes ma'am, revision done. Revision means they have checked that they have attempted all the questions. No, this is the first part, that you have attempted the question. The second part is, you have to check each and every solution, you have to check each and every calculation, that what you have to find the mistakes in your paper. If you will try to find the mistakes thinking that this is not your paper, I have to find the mistake in this question, definitely I can guarantee you at least 1 or 2 mistakes you can find. This I have seen in my this year of my teaching. Yes, if I have that mindset ki I have to find the mistake in this question paper, definitely I can find. Okay, the mistakes can be the calculation errors. Maybe I have left some question unattempted. Maybe in some question I have not written the units. Maybe in some question the figure was asked, I have not drawn the figure, thinking in the mind I will do it later. So this 30 minutes becomes very, very, very important for you, because this is the time where when you are checking your paper from the mindset of a teacher, and this is going to help you at least, I'm not saying much, from 2 to 5 marks you can definitely get by revision. You can just increase your 2 to 5 marks in your revision. Okay, so I'm not saying if you are a student of 80 marks, you have done it 80%, you have done the question paper of 80 marks, 100% paper you have done, definitely you will say, ma'am, I used to get 80 marks, so what is the point of doing revision? No, revision means small mistakes you have to see, whether you have written units everywhere, whether you have drawn the figures, whether anything steps you have in the geometry, you have written the reasons why these two angles are equal, why these two lines are parallel, what is the theorem you have used, whether you have mentioned that or not. So that becomes very important. So I hope these tips will help you in your exam. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you is, because this is the last month, the January is about to approach, and in February your board exams are about to start. So what my suggestion is, please keep a timer, the clock with you, and start solving the unsolved papers. While solving the unsolved papers, put the timer on. Okay, suppose you have started that paper at 7 o'clock. Now 7:30 you want to go to drink water, or you want to go to washroom, or you want to eat dinner, whatever. Okay, now put the timer off. First thing, so is my suggestion, please try to think that in that 3 hours you are not going anywhere, you are not eating anything, you are not, just take it as your exam time, the way you are going to sit in the exam. But still, if you feel like you have to go somewhere, stop the timer at that place, okay? And then when again you come, then again start the timer, okay? So this will help you whether you are able to complete the paper in these 3 hours or not. And in these 3 hours, again, our 30 minutes is for checking if we have left any question and we have not unattempted question, and the last 30 minutes we have to leave for revision. So if you will do multiple questions, multiple papers before exam in this 1 month, I'm sure it will going to help you in the time management of maths paper. Especially I'm saying in maths paper, because they always, I have heard ki ma'am, we are not able to complete the paper in that time, stipulated time. Why not? Because you don't know the time management. So this is the time you have finished your syllabus, this is the time you're over your syllabus, you are at this time you have to solve all your question papers, the unsolved papers. Take the questions in the same format, okay? The 1 marker, 2 marker, 3 marker, 4 marker, solve the question in the same format, and just make a just timetable for yourself ki this, in this much time I have to complete section A, in this much time I have to complete section B, in this much time I have to complete section C. Okay, so thank you, and all the very best to my all the students, especially those who are going to attempt the board exam for the first time. Have a nice